Namaskar and welcome to In Focus. Ask anyone who's the best batsman in the world and the answer is bound to be Sanath Jayasurya. On the cricket field, he's virtually a one-man run-getting machine. Today, he's with us to talk about his batting, his team, and how they're going to fare against India when they visit in November. Sanath, the recent Wisden cricket ratings have just come out, and you're rated the top batsman in the world. Yet, 2 years ago, you weren't even a regular batsman. It's been quite an incredible achievement, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think mainly because after the winning the World Cup, I think this has already changed. Before that, I was not open in the batting. I think I was asked to open the management and the captain have decided me to open the one-day games. And during the Australia series and after the World Cup, we are very successful. I have been successful batting opening. I think that is the change starts.
That's when it all began.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to that wonderful time in Australia in 1995. Up till then, you were actually more recognized as a bowler than a batsman. So why do you think your captain Ranatunga came to you and said, open in Adelaide?
That because I was not playing most of the test matches that time. We played about 3 tests in Australia. The last test, I think Roshan got injured. He had a knee problem. I am the third opener. I went for that Australian tour, and they wanted me to open that time. And he said the management had decided me to open, and I got 100 in that game. But I think that's basically I got a lot of confidence on that 100 in Australia to get in this position at the moment.
But are you also saying that if Roshan hadn't fallen ill, you wouldn't have got the opportunity?
No, I don't think I would have played that game because basically that time there's no place to be in the side because only the few batsmen and the bowling you have to balance the side. You can't play about 7-8 batsmen in the side.
So there was a lot of luck in this, huh?
Yeah, you have to have a lot of luck. Luckily I got that place because Roshan got injured, and in my luck also, and I did.
Okay, you had this wonderful moment and you must have known this is my real opportunity. Were you nervous?
For the opening of that match, is it? A bit because I wanted to perform that game because basically I don't get a chance to play a test match that time. I thought must get some runs for this. I can play a few test matches because I've been playing for one days long time, because last 5-6 years I've been playing the one days, but not the test matches I'm playing, and not, there are a few patches like, but I got a lot of confidence after I get this 100 in Adelaide.
In fact, after you got that 100 in Adelaide, you've gone on to actually achieve some really terrific scores. I was talking to Kapil Dev when I was coming over to Colombo, and he said, when you meet Sanath, ask him. Today he's written new records and he's made history. But 2 years ago, did he think he was going to do this?
No, not really, because like I told you, it's all, we have been practicing as a team. The whole team have been doing last five years, most of the same team we have been playing, and the team has a lot of confidence. Basically, when I was open, they never asked me to. They always asked me to play my normal game, which I have used to it. They never came and said you have to play like this, 15 overs, you have to get this much. They never.
When you played, you sometimes surprise yourself by how well you play?
Not really, because I always, myself, I am having a target, like, not a big target, but when I am going there, naturally a bit nervous, that will be there for a few overs. After that, I am free to play my shots.
What's the target you have in mind when you begin? You said you had a target.
Yeah, but basically the first 3-4 overs you have to be there to get a target.
Yeah.
If you can't get a target before 3 overs, 3-4 overs, you have to settle down a bit. That's main thing. I have to be there for 4-5 overs. Then you can.
Okay, let's look a little bit more closely at your one-day batting records. Since the World Cup, it seems that some of your best performances have come against India or Pakistan. How do you explain that?
I think after the World Cup, most of the tournaments we played against, the India and Pakistan, both teams are involved most of the time. After the World Cup, we played in Singapore, in India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, the 3 of us again. We lost the finals to Pakistan. Yeah. And like that, the whole year, most of the time we played against India and Pakistan.
Do you feel particularly comfortable playing against India and Pakistan? Is that why you get so many runs against them?
Not really, because we played in India, here and Pakistan. I think last time we played in Sharjah, but not free. But when you have confidence, I think mainly the confidence.
Confidence matters, does it?
That's the main.
Okay, let me ask you the opposite question then. You don't, it seems, sometimes do so well against, say, Australia or Zimbabwe. Since the World Cup, you've played 3 matches against Australia and you've got 80. You've played 4 matches against Zimbabwe, you've got 67. What happens there?
No, we played again after the World Cup against Australia in Sri Lanka. I got a lot of runs in Colombo. We played in Singer Cup. I got a lot of runs in that tournament. And after Zimbabwe came here, we played only 2 tests, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, I got 250s for that.
But in fact, you played 2 more previously, so you've got a total of 4 one-days against Zimbabwe and a total of 67 odd runs.
Previously?
No, since the World Cup.
Yeah, because we don't get a chance to play against Zimbabwe. We played 2 games, I think.
So you find that, in fact, your exposure to Australia or Zimbabwe is not as great as your exposure to India and Pakistan?
Yeah, basically, we didn't have a tour to like Australia or Zimbabwe or England. We're always in this part of the world most of the time.
Because, I was talking to some cricket experts before I came over, and one of them said to me, look at his statistics, they're very interesting. Since the start of the World Cup, you've played 25 innings against India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and I believe you scored 1,252 runs. In the same time span, you've played 18 innings against all the other cricket teams, but you've only scored 564 runs. So this cricket expert said, ask Sanath, why is there this difference?
I think that also before the Australian tour, we won the finals. We lost second final. The Australian, after I opened my batting, I got a lot of chances, a lot of chances to go there and bat. I got 50 overs. I got more runs. Before that, I was going for number 7, batting number 7. You don't get a chance to score, the big score. After I opened the batting, I got a lot of time. You can go for big runs.
But a moment ago you were saying you would also like more opportunity to play against teams like Australia or Zimbabwe or even New Zealand.
Yeah.
Huh?
Last year we played this March against New Zealand. The series that's 1-1. We lost 1 and we won 1.
How do you find you play against New Zealand or Australia? Are you happy with your performance against them?
Yeah, I have been doing well for them also. Last time in Australia, in New Zealand this time. We played over 2 tests and 2 one-days. We have been doing well. I have been doing well. I got a lot of few runs in New Zealand and Australia too.
Some of your fans say that Sanath plays his best on the hard wickets that you get in Asia, but that perhaps on grassy wickets, he doesn't score as freely. Do you agree?
I can't agree for that, because whenever we go there, they prepared for wicket for their benefit, When they come, we have to prepare for our benefit. But when we tour to some other country, they will prepare for themselves, not for us. But we don't mind playing any wicket. I don't mind playing in grassy or grassless or anything.
Would you like an opportunity to get more practice, say, on grassy wickets by playing in English County League or playing more often in South Africa?
But thing is, when we were practicing in Colombo, we always practice on the grass wicket, seaming tracks in Colombo. We have used to that seaming. We have a lot of seam bowlers.
So do you feel you have enough practice against pace attack and seam attack and swing?
We have everything.
Because, sometimes people say, Sanath is a great batsman, but his best performances tend to be in Asia. And if you look at Sanath's performances either against non-Asian teams or outside Asia, they are not the same. Are those guys being unfair when they say this?
No, but they can't say like that. When I was in West Indies, I scored most of the runs. I scored 189, 195, 2 tests. And the one-day game I got a 45
But then
in West Indies.
what about when you play against New Zealand? Isn't there one of the statistics that you played 5 one-day tests against New Zealand, but you have only 150? And actually,
No, that
against
time
India,
I didn't play much test matches against New Zealand. I only have played I think 2 or 3 test matches. That time I don't have a chance to play in the test squad. The last series I played 2 tests, and before that for my first test against New Zealand, in New Zealand, I think I played all 3 tests against New Zealand in my life.
Okay. So when you now plan your future, and you say to yourself, what are the opportunities I want to look for? Are you consciously looking to find more chances to play against teams like England or South Africa?
But I can't decide. I can't be. The board have to decide to play. Wherever the board asked us to play, we have to go there and play. I myself can't go and say, right, we want to play there, we want to play here. That's ICC have to. They have a calendar and they have put into the order. That's why we are playing here.
Okay, but
And they can't say that we are playing. The board didn't want to play in Asia. Our board didn't want to play in Sri Lanka. They have put a calendar and they have keep saying that you have to play in here, there. That the 2 boards have decided to play wherever they want.
So it's a question of cricket politics coming into it.
That's cricket politics, not the cricket politics. They have, the board have decided.
You have
The teams can't decide it.
You have a great opportunity coming up in November when there's this quadrangular series taking place in Pakistan, and you're going to face Pakistan, South Africa, and the West Indies.
I think that should have been one of the best series because the whole 4 teams are very tough teams. I think we have a very good side, and like that the Pakistan, West Indies, and
Which
South
is the
Africa.
side that worries you the most out of those other 3?
I think you can't say that all 3 are really good.
But are you most worried by, say, South Africa? Because
South Africa also, they have a very good side. But thing is, you can't specify because the all 3 are one of the best one-day teams in the world.
But are you going to win the series?
We always will try our best to win.
Huh? You know, one of the things people say, they say that Sanath is a master blaster in one-day matches. But in fact, if you look at your test average, 49.84, it's a very good average as well. So are people being unfair when they say Sanath is really just a one-day star?
That's, you can't say the people, they are talking, but I have proved myself, I can play a test match.
You in fact proved yourself also as a bowler. Correct me, but you are still, aren't you, Sri Lanka's highest wicket taker in one-day matches?
Yeah.
Huh? Why don't you bowl so much in tests?
That's, I think, I have to do a lot of things because normally in a one-day series, I always go and bowl in the practices and a lot of hard work. But when the test series starts, I don't want to bowl at net. But the last series, my coach, the manager, Dulip Mendis, personally came and asked me to bowl a lot of bowling at the practices. That is why I bowled okay for the last India series. I bowled for the last few test matches.
Are you going to ask Ranatunga to give you more chances now to bowl in tests?
No, I don't have to tell him. He knows, he has a lot of experience. We don't have to tell him.
So is he going to give you more chances?
He will, because he had played enough cricket. He knows the game very well, better than us.
Okay, we're going to have to take a quick break at that point, but I want to in part 2 talk to you about your team, and I want to talk about the forthcoming series in India, and a little bit about yourself. But first, I'm afraid we're going to have to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a couple of moments to continue this discussion with Sanath Jayasurya. Welcome back to part 2 of our discussion with Sanath Jayasurya. Sanath, we've talked in part 1 a lot about you. Let's talk a little about the Sri Lankan team. Looking at your one-day test record as a team, before the World Cup, you won something like 25% of the one-day matches you played. After the World Cup, you've won almost 75%. So the World Cup's made a big difference, hasn't it?
I think before the World Cup, we won in the one-day series in Pakistan against Pakistan, and the test series too. And we went to Sharjah and we won that Sharjah Cup against West Indies before the World Cup. And after that we went to Australia and we were in the finals.
Yeah.
And against Australia, they won first final, we lost second finals. I think...
but since the World Cup,
yeah,
you win everything.
Yeah, after we winning the World Cup, it has whole thing is changed. A lot of most of the players got a lot of confidence. Whenever we go out, we know we can feel it, we can win this game like that, because we won the big one. Now we can do it, because most of the players are the whole team, the whole squad had a lot of confidence.
Okay, confidence is one thing. How much of the responsibility and the credit also goes to people like Arjuna Ranatunga and Dilip Mendes?
I think first the Dulip and Arjuna. The Arjuna had played from the first test. From the first test, he has been there for the team. Because players like Arjuna is a big asset for the country, because they have been there for last 17 years. I think Arjuna is playing from the start.
So his experience is very important.
His experience, and here Dulip is there with Arjuna. Dulip is captain when Arjuna is playing. I think and then most of the senior players, and that time we were coached by Dev Watmore, and he has also did a very important role. Because of that, I think we were successful.
You're talking about your coach. In other interviews, you've praised your physiotherapist, Alex Corturi. How important is fitness, and how important is the fact that you have a professional foreign physiotherapist?
Yeah, that is because I think that we are lucky for that, having the physio like Alex. He's from Australia. He has been looked after our team really well, because he is having everyone individually. Everyone is looked after individually really well, because he is doing physical training program every day in the mornings, and the strengthening program like that. I think after he comes in the team, we had physically the team has been really fit.
Okay, you are now going to be going to India, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the team you're going to play in November. But first, tell me something. What do you think of India's performance in the Sahara and Jinnah Cups?
I think after the Asia Cup, they were really bad in Colombo, and after that they went to the Canada, and they had really very good series in Canada, Sahara Cup. And, they are doing well at the moment. In Jinnah Cup also they did well, and they lost last game, I think.
In India, they say that we have a much better attacking side at the moment. Do you agree?
In India?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Srinath might be come back to the side. I don't know. In India, because they have very good side. Anyway, when they were here, also they have a very good side. But when we are playing in India, also we have a lot of pressure. But still, I think we can manage with our team.
Tell me something. Are you going to win the one-day series 3-love again in India?
You never know. We'll always try our best to win.
Okay, you've played a lot against India, and many people say that the Indian team lacks the killer instinct. Do you agree?
No, I can't say like that, because when you lose, you less confidence. When you start winning, you will get a lot of confidence. I think they need confidence. When they start winning, they will always, the people will say like, now it's India team get killer instant.
Okay, confidence is important, but then so is fitness and so is fielding. Do you think the Indians are as fit as they should be? Do they field as well as they should?
All depends on how they perform. When they perform well, they start winning, they will always do well. All depends on how will you performing.
Well, actually, since you're saying it all depends on how they're performing, they have just performed well in Toronto, and they performed well in Pakistan. So does that mean you're a little worried about? Yeah,
we have to be a little bit worried. When any team, when you're playing their country, you have to be a little bit worried. They have a lot of confidence in they know how is the wicket like, which we don't know. That's advantage they have most of the time.
Tell me something. Who is the Indian bowler you most respect?
I think the Srinath Jayasurya.
But Srinath is the one you most respect.
He's a good bowler.
Suppose he doesn't play. That will give you a lot of confidence, won't it?
Yeah, we got a lot of confidence. But he's, I think, one of the best bowlers in India at the moment.
Have you been watching the two new finds, Devashish Mohanty and Harvinder Singh? What do you think of them?
No, I didn't see both of them much. I don't know.
So in a sense, when you play against them, it will be a surprise.
Yeah, I haven't played against them. I don't know.
Do you like surprises? Are you worried about that?
No, not really.
Okay. Why do you think that Srinath is the best Indian bowler? What's the reason?
Because he's most experienced bowler at the moment in India. And he had played a lot of cricket, he had played a lot of county cricket. I think the experience counts a lot as a bowler. He has been doing well, but his pace is there, his line is always correct, and those are the basics he has
Okay, what
been.
about batsmen? Who is the Indian batsman who you think is the best in the team?
No doubt Sachin is the best.
No doubt in your mind. Huh? No competition from, say, Azhar?
Azhar is one of the best players, but Sachin is
Sachin is the best. Sachin is number one. Huh?
best.
Okay, let's broaden the picture. Let's talk about international cricketers. In the present generation of batsmen, who is the man that you most admire?
What do you mean, the batting or
Batting.
I think Aravind De Silva. He's one of the best batsmen I have ever seen.
Why?
He has been scoring a lot of runs since he started playing for this country. And he very consistent batsman we have at the moment, and the whole world knows he has been a lot of runs.
But is it just the run getting that you admire, or is it also his style and his panache
His style, runs, all counts.
altogether? Okay, what about bowlers? Who would you say today is the best bowler in the world?
No doubt Wasim Akram is the best for me.
How often has he got you out?
Most of the time. Most of the time.
So every time Wasim is bowling,
He's
do
best.
you say a little prayer?
No, not really, but he can do something, you know, as a bowler he's best.
What about fielders? Today, fielding has become a very important part of how a team wins. Do you think there is someone who you would call the best fielder in the world?
There are a few fielders in the world, I should say, not one. John T is one, Roshan Mahanam is another one. And I think one of the best fielders, Ruan Kalpage.
Who would you say is a good fielder in India? Or is there no one who's a good fielder in India?
That's a very difficult question to ask. To answer.
So you're agreeing with me. There's no one who's a good fielder.
The whole
in
are
India.
good. No.
Okay, let's come to you. I don't want this interview to finish without a chance to talk to you. You're 26.
No,
You're
I'm 27.
You're 27.
Almost 28 now.
Okay, you're 28.
Yeah.
You're famous. You're single. When are you going to be bowled over?
That's a very good question. Must be next year.
1998 is going to be the year Sanath Jayasurya gets married.
I hope so.
Why do you say hope so? Why can't you say I promise?
I can't promise. I can't promise.
Okay, have you found someone you want to marry?
Not really. I will be fine partner, but not now. At the moment. But
Are you going to have a love marriage or are you going to have an arranged marriage?
never know. You never know.
Are you under a lot of pressure from the family to get married quickly?
No, actually, my mother wants to get married. You know, because our family they all live in Mathura, and myself in Colombo at the moment. I live with my mother at the moment, because they wanted me to get married at the moment. But if I find the right partner, I will get married early as possible.
But have you made your mother a promise that by next year you will find the right partner?
I told my mother.
Huh? So she's very happy.
She's happy. She's happy.
Okay, let me ask you one other question. When next year?
That
In the
I don't
beginning, in the middle, in the end?
That I don't know. That's a question.
But 1998 is the year you will get married.
I think so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's a new life anyway. But yeah, it's very good experience. I hope. I have. Yeah.
Because at the moment, I imagine that you must have all the beautiful girls in Colombo chasing you. Is it difficult to deal with the fame and to deal with the popularity that you are
No,
experiencing?
in Sri Lanka, most of the time they are understandable crowd. You know, they are not coming behind. They will always very understandable. The crowd in Sri Lanka.
What about in India? Because you're almost as famous there as you are here, and you're going to have all the pretty girls running after you when you come there.
That's different story in India, but here it's very understanding.
Any chance that you might marry an Indian girl before?
No, any Sri Lankan girl.
She will be Sri Lankan.
She will be a Sri Lankan.
But it will be definitely next year.
Yeah, I hope so, yes.
Sanath, on that wonderful note, thank you very much for talking
Thank you.
to In Focus.
Thanks.
That's it for this week. We'll be back next week with another interviewee. But for today, from Sanath Jayasurya's home in Colombo, goodbye.